On the whole, I've been a saint. To those poor unfortunate souls.
Hello, and welcome to Poor Unfortunate Podcast. I'm Caroline Ameti.
And I'm Conor Perkins. This is the Disney podcast for grown-ups where we shoot the shit about Disney the way that you do with your friends. Welcome to all of our listeners. Thank you so much for hitting play. Please also remember hit follow or subscribe wherever you're listening to the podcast. That way all of our episodes download to your device and you don't miss out on anything. This is a brand new episode of Caroline What's New, our bi-weekly mini episode series where we go through all the latest and greatest in Disney news. This episode is being recorded on Sunday, March 23rd, 2025. So, Caroline, what's new?
I will start with Walt Disney World, as I tend to do. So, the name has been revealed for the upcoming Spaceship Earth Lounge in Walt Disney World's Epcot, and it will be called Geo 82. And the lounge will be exclusively 21 plus, offering innovative cocktails and globally influenced small plates.
Oh.
I'm kind of a fan of the 21 and older rule.
Yeah.
I feel like it'll keep the vibes nice. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Oga's is after a certain time as well, and that's usually the only time I've gone. But interesting. I do feel bad. Like, I think of my younger cousin who is 18 and will be dying to see it and can't. But
sorry,
it's a choice.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah,
A reason to come back.
That's right. A reason to come back. Well, speaking of something that some people will have to miss out on, the new Disney Vacation Club member lounge, McKim's Mile House, is now open in Frontierland in Magic Kingdom. The backstory of the lounge is that you're stopping by McKim's Roadhouse, where the McKim family still lives, and it is naturally full of Disney Easter eggs. So the lounge offers Wi-Fi, seating, charging stations, coffee, and Coca-Cola freestyle machines for DVC members. And even if you are a member, you have to have membership magic access. And if you do, up to 4 guests or your whole resort room party can come into the lounge with you. And it will be open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Another lounge.
I'll bring you in. You can get some Coca-Cola freestyle.
It's just also all of these different freaking like,
you
can be this, but then you have to have this. And
let
then
me tell you.
This, and then you have
let
to
me
have
tell
this.
you.
Just, oh my
me and my
God.
family are DVC, and I do not know what membership magic access means.
Yeah, what the fuck is membership magic?
I actually have no idea. Anyway. And this might be a bit more personal to my family, but I just found this out today, and low-key, we are all devastated. Peekaboo, a quick service food location at the Swan and Dolphin, is permanently closed. Most people have probably never even heard of this, but this spot was open 24 hours. And as frequent boardwalk guests, we loved having somewhere close where we could still grab food after a late park night because we like to stay till close. So this place was 24 hours. We'd stop by there. You could get hot food. You could get a snack. Like, there were lots of options. It will be replaced by a new offering called Lagoon Games, Lanes, and Eats, described as a, quote, all new innovative game room experience, end quote, that will include bowling and food options. And I looked at the floor plan and I could see this place. I could see Peekaboo being changed into a game room, but I was like, bowling? There's not enough room for bowling in there. And it's like little, like it's like 4 lanes, like sort of shoved into a corner. Yeah. And sadly, food will only be served there from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. So the dream of 24-hour food availability in Walt Disney World has now died.
That's sad.
It's very sad. We would go there at least once a trip because sometimes it's just late. You had an early dinner, whatever, you're hungry. And that's where we would go. It needed a refresh for sure. The vibes in there were very, very strange, like very 80s. But there was hot food 24 hours a day. So...
Very 80s, but hot food. So.
It's a trade-off. And speaking of that area of the Walt Disney World Resort, Jelly Rolls at the Boardwalk has announced that it will host its closing night celebration on April 19th. So you have less than a month to get to Jelly Rolls if you've never been. I'm kicking myself that I have never gone there. We were supposed to go on my bachelorette trip, and then I got food poisoning, so we never went.
Damn you, Casey's Corner.
Damn you, Casey's Corner. A new behind-the-scenes video has been released by Imagineers that offers a sneak peek at the new Cars attraction coming to Magic Kingdom, including clips of ride testing and development and what the vehicles will be like. You see
I
Imagineers
haven't
riding
seen
in.
this.
Yeah, it's not. You don't see a lot. You see sketches of the vehicles. You see a little model of the vehicle, and then you see Imagineers riding along what I'm assuming is the very first step of the path of the attraction.
Okay.
And it'll be different from Radiator Springs Racers, but it looks like very off-roady. I'm kind of into it.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm excited. And something else that we got a sneak peek at those are some new details that have been revealed about the Lion King attraction coming to Disney Adventure World in Disneyland Paris. So set to open in 2026. We've talked about this previously, but if you don't know, this log flume ride will, quote, bring you alongside Simba's journey from cub to king. It's going to feel like you stepped right into the movie, end quote. So we just got some reveals of more of the details of that ride. Nothing super specific yet, but it seems like it's going to be the plot of The Lion King. And then you head down the waterfall as Simba becomes king at the end.
Which, you know what? To be honest, I'm kind of okay with that. I'm kind of
me too.
I'm kind of done. I'm not done with, but there are a lot of rides that are doing this is what happens after the events of the movie. And they're all just sort of generally happy and there's no conflict or anything like that. And I'm like, oh, I want to go on a ride. I want to have something to do. I want to have
you're going to have a mini drop at the elephant graveyard. It's the perfect thing.
Yeah. So I'm cool with that.
Me too.
And it's also exciting to have the first ever Lion King attraction, actual ride. We don't have one.
I know. I wonder.
We've never had one.
I wonder if we'll get anything eventually in Animal Kingdom if this does well.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? All right, so let's talk about Disney Plus. So some things that are now available. Moana 2 is now streaming on Disney Plus.
Yes, I have to watch.
According to Deadline, the film drew 27.3 million views globally in its first 5 days on the platform. And this makes it the biggest Walt Disney Animation Studios premiere since Encanto, and the third largest animated theatrical premiere of all time on Disney Plus. So
wow.
Moana, she pulls numbers.
She does.
Moana has consistently been a title on Disney Plus that is among, if not at the top of the list of most streamed.
Yep.
So, it fits.
Mm-hmm.
Some stuff that's announced / coming soon for Disney Plus. Okay, so speaking of theatrical releases coming to Disney Plus, Disney's Mufasa, A Lion King story debuts on Disney Plus this week on March 26th. We also got the announcement that Percy Jackson and the Olympians has officially been renewed for a third season on Disney Plus. The new season will be based on The Titan's Curse, the third in the best-selling book series that has yet to be adapted in any form. So we're finally going to be getting something that we've never seen before from Percy Jackson. And the second season recently wrapped filming, and that is expected in December of this year. April is going to be a big month for new Disney Plus programming, and that kicks off with Not Just a Goof, the documentary about the making of a Goofy movie, which premieres on April 7th. It is the untold story of the young creative team tackling their first Disney feature, its initial disappointment, and its surprising resurgence decades later.
Ooh.
Yeah. There's a lot of documentary stuff happening. So the new Bryce Dallas Howard helm documentary Pets premieres on Disney Plus on April 11th. And this, quote, explores the extraordinary relationships that exist between animals and their people all around the world, highlighting dogs, cats, pigs, goats, and even birds of prey. Pets takes us on a hilarious and poignant journey that celebrates love, loss, and licks along the way, end quote. So it should be good. We saw Bryce Dallas Howard do a documentary, I believe last year, called Dads. And so this is a forward movement of that type of stuff. I love Bryce Dallas Howard. I love everything that she does.
Yeah, me
I think
too.
She's absolutely fantastic. So I'm excited for this. The very next day, on April 12th, though, that will be the premiere of the new season of Doctor Who, starring Ncuti Gatwa. So lots of stuff happening there. Then we get a second season of the documentary series Light and Magic about the Lucasfilm visual effects studio Industrial Light and Magic, and that hits Disney Plus on April 18th. This season is going to focus on the company, quote, during its most challenging and revolutionary period, the dawn of digital, from creating the first fully realized CG character to solving the challenge of digital water. It is an era that finds ILM scaling new heights of innovation despite dramatic setbacks, end quote. I didn't know that they were going to keep going with more seasons of Light and Magic. So this
I
is
didn't
super
either.
exciting. And also, like, if they keep going, I can't low-key wait until they get to Wicked, because Wicked was done. The visual effects for Wicked were done
Oh
by
my
Industrial Light and
God.
Magic. So somewhere along the line, if they keep going, they're going to have to talk about Wicked. So,
Yay.
you know, another little moment of Disney and Wicked
I
coming
was gonna say that.
together for the people. And then the last thing I'll say here in stuff that is announced coming soon, I mean, have a look at all the stuff coming in April. There's a lot of stuff happening, but mark your calendars because the highly anticipated second season of Andor drops on April 22nd with the first 3 episodes. So get ready for that. In the world of Disney films, now available, Snow White had its opening weekend this past weekend, and it led the box office with $43 million domestically and $87.3 million globally. Now, this is a more subdued opening. People have been like, oh, it's sleepy and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But this is on par with Dumbo. It's also on par with a lot of some of the other films that have come out, including Joker, Folie à Deux, and Wonka, even some of that stuff. So, you know, as much as people may want to sort of like downplay this, it's not that far out of the normal. It's just not, you know, Wicked numbers.
Right.
And with all of that said, a lot of audiences have been leaving with generally positive reviews of the film, despite it having a B+ cinema score, which is a pretty low score for a Disney live action adaptation. Usually those all rate somewhere between A-, A-, A+. So,
oh wow, okay. Y'all want us to do a bonus, right? Like, are we going to talk? We have to talk about it on here, right? Let us know.
I think we're going to have to talk about it. I think this is one of those instances where you just kind of have to go and like make up your own mind about this.
Yes, that's exactly how I feel about this.
So many people have been pushing that this is going to be bad, and so many people come away being like, wait, I actually like really liked this one.
Yep, that's what I've heard.
Some people have been coming away saying like it's one of the best ones that they've done. It's been surprising. So go see it. Make up your own mind.
Yeah, I'm intrigued, and I've been listening to the soundtrack, but I've been trying not to like really find anything else out so I can go in and really form my own opinion. So I'm excited to talk about it with you.
I even saw someone on Threads saying that after watching Snow White, they're like, you know what? I think the Beauty and the Beast show in Hollywood Hills Amphitheater should start thinking about packing up their bags and put Snow White in there with all the Pasek and Paul music.
Wow.
And do something there. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe.
Okay.
And now some stuff that is announced / coming soon with Disney films. So during the annual shareholders meeting that happened recently, Bob Iger announced that Coco 2 is in development from Pixar. He said, quote, while the film is just in the initial stages, we know it will be full of humor, heart, and adventure, and we can't wait to share more soon, end quote. So basically saying nothing. The film reunites director Lee Unkrich and co-director Adrian Molina, and it is expected to hit theaters in 2029. I do not know what this movie is going to be about. I do not know what more is there to be mined from the story. I'm sure that there are things.
There's always
and I know
something.
That they want
but like,
I know they want to
like,
capitalize on this.
It just feels like such a beautiful, contained
popular
story to me. Like it was very contained. Okay.
It did. So, but we will see. We will see what happens. I mean, it seems like they're getting the band back together with this one.
Right.
So, you know, I'm down to see what happens. We got the teaser trailer and poster for Freakier Friday, which will hit theaters on August 8th. According to Disney, quote, the story picks up years after Tess, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Anna, Lindsay Lohan, endured an identity crisis. Anna now has a daughter of her own and a soon-to-be stepdaughter. As they navigate the myriad of challenges that come when two families merge, Tess and Anna discover that lightning might indeed strike twice, end quote. So, you know, it looks fun. It looks fun. I'm excited for this. It's also just like so fun to see like Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan as executive producers on this too. I really like that. And then the last thing that I will say in this category, so we got the trailer for the live action Lilo and Stitch, and this debuted this past week. It racked up 158 million views in the first 24 hours, and it now claims the spot as Disney's second most viewed live action trailer of all time, only behind The Lion King.
Oh.
I know. We also got the full marketing campaign images ahead of the theatrical release on May 23rd. These images are a recreation of the original animated film's campaign, this time inserting Stitch into the teaser posters of Disney's other live action remakes. So we see, Stitch with the rose from Beauty and the Beast. We see Stitch with the lamp from Aladdin stuck between his teeth. And it's all like those teaser posters that we had all those years ago, like resurfaced, and Stitch is now in them. My personal favorite is Stitch wearing the glass slipper off of one foot while striking this very like yassified pose.
Yeah.
It just feels very right. Because also that slipper that was used for that teaser, it's just like a hunk of like diamond, basically.
It is.
So, it's super fun.
And finally, just in our miscellaneous category, we have to talk a little bit about Epic Universe as it reaches nearer and nearer to its opening date, because this affects the Disney universe. Like, this is putting a crap ton of pressure on Disney. So Epic Universe has begun team member family previews, and those able to attend are only allowed to post photos taken professionally by Universal staff. So basically, it's like not in front of anything like super revealing, not inside any attractions, of course. So there isn't much being revealed right now, but I have heard nothing but raves from folks online who have been able to experience it.
I've seen some of the merch coming out of it too, and people.
Yes, I know.
It's just like crazy.
I've heard even great things about the food, like just all around. So we will share more about that as we hear more. It'll probably be, I don't even know when I'll ever be able to go there, but I want to go. I want to go. And then I guess the last thing I'll say is, well, we usually say this at the end too, but just stay tuned for our next episode, because we're going to be hosting the PUAs, the Poor Unfortunate Awards. So get ready.
Break out your beautiful black tie / gala attire, because we're going to be rolling out that purple carpet. That's everything that we have for you. Thank you so much for listening. Please make sure that you hit follow or subscribe so you're downloading all of the episodes. Find us on social media. We are at Poor Unfortunate Podcast everywhere. And we will see you next week with a brand new Wildcard episode. Until then, Beluga Sevruga.